Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, in the Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 7 preview, if you've already watched that, it seems like the problem that Rosita and Eugene have, the trouble that they run into, they're getting chased by a herd, and then they hear the Whisperers talking to each other. It seems like it's not just them. In the comics, it's just a couple of characters, and then they eventually get back to Alexandria. But it seems like from the way the trailer for this episode made it look, that it's not just Eugene and Rosita that has to deal with this. It's everyone. There's a part of the trailer where there's a flare in the sky, and it looks like everyone's looking at it, and it seems like a lot of these characters, they're all separated into little groups, and they end up coming together and trying to fight the walkers. Now, that's just my guess, because it looks like everyone is in action in this episode. Carol, Daryl, and Henry, they're together, and they start fighting. Michonne, Sadiq, and Magna's group, they're together, and they start fighting. And we still see that Eugene and Rosita are running, and it looks like they got separated, because in the beginning of the trailer, Rosita is by herself. So it seems like the walkers and the Whisperers, they're going to be a problem for everyone in this episode. Everyone's going to be fighting them and discovering, at least starting to discover the threat that they're dealing with. Now, I'm not saying that they find out for sure that it's Whisperers. It could just be walkers attacking everyone, and then the Whisperers realize that they're outnumbered because everyone's coming together, and then they run away. And then Rosita and Eugene are left as the only ones that heard the voices and are upset about what happened, because that's kind of how it was in the comics. It was just those two characters that thought they heard the Whisperers, or then they think it's talking zombies, and Rick and everyone's just like, you're crazy. They could still do that with Eugene and Rosita. Eugene and Rosita could be the only ones that realize that something is really wrong, and that someone in the herd was talking, multiple people were talking to each other. But in the trailer, it looks like Daryl is stabbing a walker, and some people are speculating that is a Whisperer. It does kind of look like it could be a walker in a Whisperer mask, or not a Whisperer in a walker mask, sorry. And that's possible. The only reason why I feel like that might not be what it is because Daryl is stabbing them in the face. You see that in the trailer. Daryl stabs them in the face, and it looks like a killing blow. It doesn't look like they dodge it or anything. So if that is a Whisperer, then that Whisperer pretty much gets killed. So Daryl would probably realize, oh, it's a guy with a mask, takes the mask off, and then boom, that's the mystery. It's done. So it could just be a normal walker. Like I said, they might not realize what the threat is in this episode. It could just be Rosita and Eugene hearing the voices and being like, well, what the fuck, like I said, I think the Whisperers will be seen in this episode. We'll get a little bit more information on them. We might see them. We might see them wearing the mask or taking the mask off. We could even get to the introduction of Beta, Alpha, and Lydia, or at least one or two of them. But that doesn't mean that Daryl, Carol, Michonne, and everyone else discovers that that's the threat, because I feel like that would be too soon. They should spend at least a couple of episodes sort of piecing things together and figuring out what the hell they're dealing with. You got Rosita and Eugene hearing the voices, and then, things are weird, and we got that scene with Jesus and Aaron in the trailer right after episode 5 was released, where it was like a trailer for the next 3 episodes, and you see Aaron and Jesus, and they got binoculars, and they see walkers walking around in a circle. I think that's a little moment where, they're piecing things together, and they're figuring out that something different is going on with the walkers, and that this is a threat that's different, and they will slowly start to realize it's the Whisperers, and it's people wearing dead skin and using that to their advantage. But I think that's something that they'll take at least a couple of episodes for the characters to figure out. So they're not going to find that out for sure in this episode. It could be episode 8. I do think that in this episode, episode 7, we'll get some more hints about the Whisperers. We could even see them taking the mask off. We could see Beta. We could see Alpha. We'll get something. I don't know how much we'll get, but we'll get something in episode 7. Episode 8, I believe, is when we're going to definitely get to the introduction of characters like Beta, Alpha, Lydia. We're going to definitely see what the threat is. You know, we're definitely going to see the Whisperers. We're going to see how the Whisperers work, because it's episode 8. It's the mid-season finale. You got to go out with a bang, you know. There's going to be some big reveals and some big moments in episode 8, just because it's episode 8. And the thing I'm looking forward to is this is one of the very few, one of the first times where episode 8 can actually be like a good cliffhanger. Usually episode 8 of the season is just this bad, awful, irritating cliffhanger where you're just frustrated you have to wait 2 months, and it seems like a good episode just got cut in half and split into episode 8 and 9 so that the ratings would go up for the episode 9 premiere. Because that's the kind of shit that Scott Gimple did. You know, in the season 6, episode 8, it ends right at that good part, and then you gotta wait 2 months. Season 7, episode 8 was pretty good. Season 8, episode 8, you find out that Carl got bitten, and then you gotta wait 2 months to actually see him die, and I think by then a lot of people lost interest. If it had just been like episode 7 and 8, and you had to wait just a week between Carl's bite and then Carl's death, I think that would have been more emotionally effective. But we've got Angela Kang at the helm now, so I think that this is going to be a really good opportunity for episode 8 to be a good cliffhanger, and not just it doesn't just feel like a good episode that got split in half, and then you got to wait 2 months for the second half of the good episode, because that's usually what Scott Gimple did. So I do think that episode 8 will reveal Beta, Alpha, Lydia. If episode 7 doesn't, episode 8 will. As for the walker that DARYL killed, I think it's just a walker, because if it's a human wearing dead skin, like the Whisperers, you know, then the mystery is over and the characters figure it out. And I think it's too soon. I think it's just a normal walker that DARYL kills. I could be wrong, but that's what my theory is right now. That in that scene, DARYL is just killing a walker. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 182 subscribers. My goal is to get to 200 in the next few weeks. So if you're interested, I hope that you consider hitting that subscribe button. The closer we get to 200, just the more badass everything will be. Because I'm very excited to get to 200. I'm going to make a video about that, celebrating that once we get there. And we're very close. We're 18 subscribers away. So I hope that we can continue to get closer and closer to 200. Anyway, with all that said, I'm Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.